tell me who you both are, where you're from, and how you met.
My name's Paul Wilkie. I served in the British Armed Forces for 22 years, and I've got post-traumatic stress disorder and other injuries. So through a charity, I got the very first PTSD service dog in Scotland, in Irma, as a pup. So that's how me and Irma met, through my injuries during service. So she's 4 now, so she's the best thing that's ever happened to me, to help me with my injuries and my post-traumatic stress disorder. Thank you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Mm.
What motorcycle do you both ride?
We've got the brand new Africa Twin. It's the 1100, brand new. It's only done 200 and odd miles because it's into winter now here, so it's snow. So, but basically for touring, I like the touring bikes. I like, especially around Scotland's beautiful. I'm going to go further afield with Irma. But basically, we got the Africa Twin for the touring side of it, didn't we? We did. You're not going away, no. You're staying and getting interviewed. Yes, you are. So yeah, Africa Twin.
What was it like learning to ride with Irma?
First of all, it was just putting her in the Pillion Pooch itself, with the bike not running or anything. It was just putting her in the Pillion Pooch, making sure she was okay in there, hooking her on with her harness. Done that a few times. Then it was starting the motorbike up with her in it, so she'd get used to the noise of the motorbike. We'd done that for a few days. But she's a very highly trained dog anyway, and I train her to do different things all the time. She even finds guns. So I've trained her to find guns and things like that. So she's easily trained, Irma. And I'm a pretty good dog trainer. Then it was basically riding round the block with her to make sure she was fine with that. But now I just go up. She jumps up on the bike and then into the Pillion Pooch, gets comfy. I chain her up and we go wherever, Dundee, Glasgow, you know what I mean? She'll sit there. She absolutely loves it. But like I say, it's just getting her used to it. It's easy to get them used to it. But that's the way I done it, making sure she was used to the box of the Pillion Pooch. Done that. Lost count of the times just to get her used to it, and then starting up the motorbike was the next stage, and then the third stage was driving round the block, making sure she was okay, and she was fine. She never moved. And then the fourth stage was pretty much driving long distances, and she was great. You know what I mean? She doesn't move. She'll just sit, looking about. So that was the easiest way I found to train her to be in the Pillion Pooch. It's simple. The Pillion Pooch is great. You know what I mean? It really is.
Where do you normally go with Irma? Is it kind of short rides, or are you going off camping mostly?
I go wild camping in Scotland, so it's mostly wild camping we go. But it's not. It's only in Scotland at the moment because of my I was in hospital for 3 years with my injuries. That was a long 3 years. So, but let's let her go. She's wanting to go. And we've got a route here called the 500, the Northwest 500, and it's a beautiful part of Scotland. I've not done that yet. So we want to do that this year. And then maybe with this COVID lockdown, you can't really do anything at the moment, but maybe later in the year or next year, we'll do Europe. The year after that, America. I've looked at shipping my bike to America, the costs and that, and it's really cheap to ship a bike to America. So it's pennies. So we've looked at all that. So yeah, it's, like I say, at the time being, it's just Scotland, only because of my injuries. But we will be going further afield in Scotland in the future.
What kind of accessories do you have for Irma when you're riding? Is there many extra things you carry for her?
I've got a pair of goggles for Irma. So she puts the goggles on, and because she is highly trained, she keeps the goggles on. They don't bother her. I've got the rec specs. So I put the rec specs on, and she's got a harness that says PTSD service dog, do not distract. So she's got the harness with the clip on her shoulders. So just the goggles, the harness, depending on the weather, she's got like a cold weather jacket, a tartan Scottish one, of course. So that's in one of my compartments on the bike. If the weather changes, we can put that on her to keep her warm. I've also got because there's a 12-volt socket on my bike, that's connected to a cooler. I've got a cooler fan that I've put in the Pillion Pooch. So if it's really hot, I can just plug that in to keep her cool. So that's the things that Irma's got to go with the Pillion Pooch. But I say, if it wasn't for Irma, I wouldn't have the bike. Pillion Pooch has made it possible for me to have my bike, because I can't go anywhere without Irma. So going out on a motorbike by myself would have been impossible. So Pillion Pooch has gave me my bike, you know what I mean? I've been able to bike again because of the Pillion Pooch. That's how much Pillion Pooch means to me. What Pillion Pooch has done for me, it's not just a dog carrier to me. It's a way of me enjoying going out on my bike, going to places that on my bike that I wouldn't be possible, because I need my PTSD dog with me at all times. And Pillion Pooch has made that possible. So it's great.
Thanks very much. That's really it's really good to hear. When you're out with Irma, what kind of response or what kind of questions do you get from people at maybe when you're riding along or at fuel stations?
I get a lot of people pointing and asking if they can take photos. I get loads of responses, like everywhere I stop, or if I'm passing people in cars overtaking, I'll get people pointing and smiling, and because they'll see Irma's head maybe looking out, and they see the Pillion Pooch on the back, and I've got loads of stickers and things, veteran and things like that, and but the response for people is unbelievable. When I go into Perth and park the bike up, I've got people coming up and standing next to the Pillion Pooch, and their friend taking a picture. The response is amazing with Pillion Pooch. It really is. They've never seen like the size of. She's a medium-sized Springer. She fits in the Pillion Pooch perfectly. It's perfect size for her. And they're just amazed to see this Springer Spaniel on such a big bike, the Africa Twin. Me and all my leathers, and a dog with rec specs, and I'll sometimes ask her to come out on the seat, you know, when the bike's parked, and she's still chained, so she'll sit on the seat in front of the Pillion Pooch, and everybody's taking pictures, and everywhere I go, it's everywhere you go with the Pillion Pooch. Everybody comes up and asks about the Pillion Pooch. Where'd you get that, and prices and things like that, and they're just amazed by the Pillion Pooch. Really, to be honest, they're like, I want one of them for my bike. What sort of dog have you got? A Great Dane. I think you'll be. I think your luck's out there, mate. So, But no, I get asked loads of questions.
There really is nothing quite like seeing a dog on a motorbike. It's adorable. I do always wonder where the photos end up, because I know we get we get photos all the time. They never make it back to us, but they're out there somewhere.
Well, I've been putting some up on that Bow Wow biker thing on Facebook, the Bow Wow biker page. I put a couple up on there, so.
There are some really good motorcycle dog groups around on Facebook, and people sharing their stories on Instagram. So I guess for other people who maybe are thinking about riding with their dogs, there's some good information out there. And just on that, what would you tell somebody who was thinking about riding a motorbike with their dog?
I'd say to them, if you love motorbikes and you love dogs, get yourself a Pillion, Pooch. Then you can have the love of your motorbike and your dog accompanying you. That's what I say to people all the time anyway. Wherever I am, I go, a lot of people, I'm quite well known in the veteran community in the UK. And everybody knows me around Perthshire where I live, especially Irma. I mean, I can't walk down streets without people saying, "Hiya, Irma," and I'm like, "Who's this?" But I always say to them, when I'm next to the bike, even if I'm in a bar speaking to the guys, or I've always got Irma with me, and I'll have my leathers on, and I say, how do you manage to get in on your bike and your dog? I say, "I've got this thing called a Pillion, Pooch." And I say, "What's that?" I say, "Well, come out and I'll show you it." And they're amazed. They're like, "Wow, that's amazing. What a brilliant idea." I says, "Well, get in touch with Pillion, Pooch, and you can take your dog. If you love motorbiking and you love dogs, there you go. It's as simple as that."
What's the one thing you love most about Irma?
Irma is the unconditional love she gives me. You know what I mean? It's unconditional love Irma shows me. I mean, I just love her to bits. I couldn't be without her. So the unconditional love that she shows me, and she's highly trained in dealing with my injuries and my post-traumatic stress disorder, better than anybody I know. She was even in hospital with me because she's allowed in the hospital. So all the nurses and that giving her attention more than I was. And I mean, I nearly died. I was only given 36 hours to live. So Irma was there, you know what I mean, in my bed. She wasn't allowed in the, what's it called, the ICU. I was in the ICU in a coma, and Irma was waiting outside the ICU. I was in a coma. I was only given 36 hours to live, but I pulled through. Somehow I pulled through. They said if I wasn't so fit, I would have been a goner. And Irma was there for just, maybe it was a thought of Irma being there for me. I don't know, I pulled through. I had sepsis, my lungs weren't working, so that was it. I just love her unconditional love, and she's such a gorgeous looking dog. She really is, like, and she's so well known. I mean, I've got such a large following on Twitter, and so I'll post pictures of me and Irma on the bike on Twitter. I think it's about 13,000 followers I've got on Twitter. So just one tweet of me and Irma on the bike goes to 13,000 people. They repost it. Their friends repost it. You know what I mean? I could get 100,000 looks just with one picture.
Would you be happy to share your social media? What's your tag if anyone wants to follow you?
It's Super J 1606.
Super J 1606. Okay, and that's
on Twitter.
On Twitter. Okay, great. So if anyone wants to follow you, they can. And it sounds like you've got some some great adventures ahead of you, you and Irma on the bike.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait till this virus is finally over and we can get out biking, because we're stuck in we're not allowed to leave certain distances, 5 miles. You're not allowed to leave 5 miles past your house at the moment in Scotland. So maybe by summer things will have changed and we'll be able to get out on the bike and go longer distances. But this COVID's mucked everything up for everyone.
We're really hoping that by summer things will be returning to some sort of normality, at least be able to, travel across borders and be able to get away. Yeah. Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure and honour talking to you today and seeing Irma. I haven't met her. I have seen lots of photos of her. She is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Thanks again, Paul, and all the best with your travel plans once things start to return to normal.
That's great. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for Pillion, Pooch.